quite a few to do, but hopefully, oh, yuck. All right, so I think I'll do this one, even though most of you got to this already, just to go over. Now, there are parts here, right? So I can highlight this. I'll take care of that part, and that part only first. So I'm going to put this on the side, and I'm going to go -1/4 divided by -3/1, right? So because we're a division, we can multiply by the reciprocal. Negative times a negative is a positive, so we just multiply and we get 1/12. So the whole top there becomes 1/12. Divided by, I change colors here. Let me see if I can highlight this in blue, and I'm going to do that part. And I'll do blue. So, and it's at the bottom is 5/6 minus 1/3. Find the common denominator. In this case, 6 times 2. So multiply the top times 2, and I get 2. So I get 3/6, otherwise known as a half. Right? And then divide that by 1/2. Now, the next part I'm going to highlight is this. I'm going to take care of this. Okay, so is this? Oh, I can scroll down. Choose black. We go 1/12, and again we're dividing, right? So that's 1/12 divided by half, or 1/12 divided or times 2/1. We can simplify before multiply, and so that whole thing becomes 1/6. So that pinkish area becomes 1/6, and I finally get to divide by that -1/2 that's been patiently waiting all this time. So 1/6 divided by -1/2 is just 1/6 times that. Simplify before multiply, and we get -1/3. Again, I mean, you know the parts, right? You know how to do them separately. It's just bringing them all together. It's just literally fluency today, guys. All this is about fluency, and that's about it. And if you can manipulate them to in a format that you're more comfortable with, why not do that? So. And again, most of you are way beyond this. I'm just going back here. I'm on the third problem. You guys are probably a few more down, so you can fast forward. So the next one is -5/7, and again, right. So I prefer to find the change it between proper fractions. 42, that's 47/7, negative plus 15/18/5. And then what I'm going to do, multiply by, find the common denominator. In this case, I chose 35. So this times 5 over here is going to be 35 carry 3, I think 235. And this is times 7, so times 7 on top. And 6, 126. Now we know it's a negative plus a positive. The negative has a bigger absolute value, so my final answer is going to be negative. So 35 goes over here, and we subtract, right? We want to find the difference between these two. That looks like -119. You can change it to a, what do you call it, mixed number. I'm just not going to do that due to time. -3/5 minus 0. So here's the problem. -3 3/5 minus -0.8. Now, this is a fraction or a mixed number that I can change into a decimal, which is so much easier, for me at least. -3 3/5 we can write as -3.6. Now, I'm going to change that to addition. That becomes that, right? So here, the manipulation part becomes, or you know, the part was changing this into a decimal, which to me makes the problem so much simpler. Now, it's obviously going to be negative, the answer, right? And then we have to find the difference between 3.6 and 0.8, which is just simply 2.4. Sorry, 2.8, but negative. Okay, so it's not the adding or subtraction, right? It's where you may be able to see that you could have changed that into that. 0.7, let that equal x. Multiply both sides by 10. The reason it's 10 is because there's only one repeating number, so that becomes, sorry, bar notation. Right, so that becomes 7.7. So remember, 0.7 is a bar notation, is literally the short version of that. If we multiply by 10, the decimal moves over 1, and we get 9x over here, and this goes away, so final answer x equals 7 over 9. 241. This time we multiply by 100 because there's 2 repeating numbers. Oops. And we get 100x here. And this we now, so now think about what that is. 241, 241, 241, 241. If we multiply that by 100, the decimal moves over twice. So we end up getting 241.41 bar notation. That allows us to get rid of the repeating part. So 100x minus x is 99x. And this becomes just 239x. 239, divide both sides by 99. And I know, I'm sorry, I'm taking, so that's going to be 2 and 41 over 99. Okay, fine, change it to a mixed number. Okay. Change to a decimal. Let's see, am I doing this right? Yeah, so I might put a 0 there, sorry. 12 goes to 55 4 times, which is 48. We're going to continue just a little bit more to see what we get. 7 left over, let's add a decimal, which allows us to bring a 0, and that's going to be 6, not 6, 5, which is 60. Minus 10 left over, bring another 0, let's see how far we can go. That's 0.58, 96. Right, 4 left over, bring another 0, let's just continue just a little bit more. 12 going to 43 times, which is 36. Right, and then 4 left over, and there is my repeating part. If I bring another 0 down, it's a 40 again, so we're going to go 3 times. So it's going to be 4.58333333 forever and ever, which we're just going to write as 4.583. So if you're asking me how far should you go, how many decimal places should you go, I would say 3, 4, you know, 3 should already have something established. So 8 over 15. Okay, so 8 over 15. Nope. Add a decimal. 4, 60, 5 times, which is 75. 5 left over, which is 3, which is 45. 5 left over again, and this one is easy. You'll notice that's going to be 3 again, so this one is just going to be 5.333 forever and ever, or bar notation on top of the 3. So this should be just a little walk over, you know, and get you used to, not used to, just refresh your mind. So again, next one, 2 3/4 times negative 3 1/3, so I know my answer is going to be negative times plus 13 over 4, oops, not 13, 11 over 4, times negative 10 over 3. Can I simplify anything? I can, the 10 and the 4, so that's a 5 and that's a 2, 55 over 6, right? And we can go negative 9, 1 over 6, because 6 goes into 55 9 times, 1 left over, so that's my answer. 4/5, and again, 3 5/7, 4/5, 21 plus 6, 21 plus 5, 6 over 7. Can I simplify anything? Yikes, no, sorry about that. 24, 104. 70, 105, so it's not going to be 105, so it's going to be 3, which is 75. And 34 over 35, if you changed. 3 1/5 divided by 7/8, and that's going to give us 16 over 5. I'm going to change that to an improper fraction, times 8 over 7. Yikes, nothing to simplify. 35 at the bottom, 48, 108, 35, 75, sorry, 35, 70. You can go 3 times, right? Which is 105 and 3 over 35. Negative 5.5 divided by negative 2 2/3, so it's going to be a positive answer. So this is 11 over 2 divided by 6, 8 over 3, and 11 over 2 times 3 over 8, negative, negative. No simplifying. Yikes. 33 over 16. So that's just 2 and 1 over 16. Number, and the one that said negative 4/5 plus 0.6 minus a half plus 0.95. Okay, again, so hopefully you did this. I'm changing everything to decimals. Makes my life easier, right? So doesn't matter how you order out add them. So if you want to just do this is 0.2, right? Negative 0.8 minus plus 0.6 is negative 0.2 minus 0.5, and that's going to get us to negative 0.7, right? So again, those of you who want to change that, sorry, right? The subtraction becomes addition, and then 0.5 because we're adding two negatives, we're going further to the left, so therefore my answer is 0.7, and then plus 0.95. Right, the absolute value of 0.95 is greater, so my answer is positive, and the difference between them is 0.25. Okay, and that's my answer. So again, make your life easy. I think make your life easier by changing to decimals. It's really up to you. 2.2 minus 9 over 10 plus negative 1 and 2/5 minus 0.7. So those of you who are just changing everything to fractions, that's really up to you. I wouldn't. And this is negative 1.4 minus 0.7, and then the rest is. So this becomes, what's $2.20 minus 90 cents, right? So you get $1.30 left, and then $1.30 you spend $1.40, so now you're in negative territory. You're 10 cents negative, or 0.1, and then you go out and you spend another 70 cents. If you'd like to change that to an addition problem, you may, and you're at negative 80 cents now. 7 over 15 divided by 0.45, again 7 over 15, and I'm going to change that to a fraction, so it becomes 45 over 100, which we're going to use a reciprocal. Can we simplify? Yes, we can. Divided by 5 is 3, divided by 5 is 20, divided by 5 is 4, divided by 5 is 9, and I think that's it. 7 times 4 is 28, 3 times 9 is 27, so this is 1 over 27. 6 over 25, excuse me. 6 over 25 divided by 0.85, which is 85 over 100. So let's use the reciprocal again. That gives us 100 over 85. Divided by 25, we can I divide anything else? No. 24 over 85. So again, if you simplify as much as you can before you multiply, then you don't have to worry about simplifying your answer because it's already simplified. 3 4/5 plus 1.5 divided by negative 1.2. Yikes. So let's change this. I'm going to change this to 3.8 plus 1.5. Okay, so let's work on that. And I'm going to get 5.3 divided by negative 1.2. Okay, so I changed that to decimals. And now I'm going to change it to fraction. So 5.3 is going to be 53 over 10 for me, divided by negative 12 over 10. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. The 10s go away, they simplify to 1, and I get 53 over negative 12, which is negative 4 and 5/12. Right? 12 goes into 53 4 times, which is 48, and then 53 minus 48 is 5 over 12. Negative 2 1/3 plus 11 over 12 divided by what? 2/3. You know what? 2.3, I'm just going to write over 23 over 10 just to save time. I wouldn't change this to a decimal because it would be not a terminating decimal. So let's change this to a fractions. So here I'm going to get 7 over 3 plus 11 over 12. I know it's negative. Common denominator is 12 times 4. So times 4 on top, so that's going to give me 28, negative 28. So this whole thing becomes positive. Negative 20 has a bigger absolute value, so I actually get negative 17 over 12. Right, so this whole thing becomes negative 17 over 12, which I'm now going to multiply by the reciprocal of this, which is 10 over 23. Divide by 2 is 5, divide by 2 is 6. Can I simplify anything else? Doesn't look like it. My answer is going to be negative 85. And at the bottom, 6 times 23 is 1898. Nope, wait, sorry. 138. And again, because I simplified everything before I multiplied, I know my answer. It's simplified. Oh, 2 more. 0.88 plus 3 9/10. 0.88. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to change that to 3.90. That's what I'm doing. So I bought something. I have $3.90. I bought something for 88 cents. How much do I have left over? Right? So it's positive 3.02. Okay, so again, 3.90, right? The other one is 0.88. We attach a 0 as a placeholder, and we subtract, and we get 3.02. Last one, yay. Negative 1.45 minus 2 and 3/20. So I can change this to decimal. So 1.45 minus 2, and I'm going to change the 3/20 to something out of 100. Okay. So something out of 100, the 20 would be times 5, so the top would be times 5. So I write 15 over 100. And again, going through the process, this would be 2.15. Isn't 15 out of 100 15 over 100? Sorry, 15 out of 100, 2.15. Right? Now I'm ready to subtract. So we know that it's a negative, if you change that to an addition problem, plus another negative. Right? And we're just going further left to the number line, and that's going to give us negative 3.60, I believe. Okay, and that's it.